Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 24 of the March Daily Draws. So let's see what message we get today. And I'll be taking the first card from the Tarot of the Witch's Garden, followed by an Oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch Ostara Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have the Four of Cups. Sometimes it's easy to get a little bit disillusioned or discouraged about our life and what we've got going on and the things we have in it, and we sort of lose our appetite for it. We lose our motivation. We've been talking about motivation, purpose, choosing our intent when we had the Two of Wands yesterday. But sometimes, even when we set out with those good intentions and we feel fired up, and then the next day, sometimes for whatever reason or shortly after, for some reason we just don't feel it at that moment. We just don't connect with that, and we sort of feel a little bit discouraged and downhearted about things, and sometimes we just don't want to have anything to do with being actively creating and following our path. And sometimes we just want to sit and mope and like here, sat under the giant mushroom here, and perhaps seeking shelter or hiding away. Sometimes we just hide away. We just can't face things at the moment. We're just not emotionally. We've got too much going on emotionally, or that we can't connect outwardly. We've got too much going on inside us that any outward connection is just not easy for us, or we don't feel able to do it. And so we withdraw into ourselves, we hide away. And we don't even notice when new opportunities come in to freshen up our lives, that may be on offer. We don't seem to, that's going to bring, we don't notice the new thing that's coming in to perhaps bring a bit more stability to our emotional life. And it may be there, but it on offer, but we don't see it because of the way that we're feeling. And this is sometimes what happens to us in life. And we can all have these moments. Even the highest, enthusiastic, happy, motivated person can have a period of time where they just don't feel it anymore. We're just not feeling it. We're not getting it. We're not, it's not working. It's not happening. All these phrases to describe this sort of apathy, lack of motivation, just wanting to retreat, as I say, and hide, and take shelter. And sometimes we need to shelter ourselves a little, sometimes to work through these emotions. And it's okay to sit there sometimes for a while and figure out what's going on, why it is we're feeling the way that we're feeling, working through those issues. And we shouldn't feel bad, or even because that just makes us feel even worse, for doing that, for taking the time just to sit there and shelter and to try and reflect on what's going on. And But we can only do that for so long before it becomes a troublesome issue for us. Because, like it or not, we have to be connecting with the things around us. We have to be at least connecting in some way emotionally with people and situations around us. Otherwise, we become too reclusive, we can become too emotionally shut off, and that has other implications for us, for our well-being, as well as practicalities of life. Things don't get done that need to get done. But for a time, yes, it's okay to sit with yourself, to sit with your emotions, and to. But as long as it's with a purpose, not just to, you can feel sorry for yourself for a while, but then you have to think, right, okay, why do I feel this way? And there comes a point where you have to work through those emotions. And as you work through them and have a bit of awareness and honesty with yourself, and you begin to understand a little bit more, sometimes then you may look up. Sometimes you have to start to look up and outward rather than down and inwards. And that's when you may notice something there for you that what you didn't see before because you were too inwardly focused. And then when you look around, you suddenly see something that perhaps brightens your outlook. So what I would say this card is saying is today is if you're feeling a little bit discouraged, lack of motivation, a bit apathetic, couldn't care, it's not happening for you, sit with your emotions for a bit, work that out, but don't sit there for too long. Begin to look around and think, what is it that I feel? Why do I feel this way? And think about what you have in your life and the opportunities you currently have. And then you may see new things. Something new may be on offer to you that you'll suddenly see. And that will sort of make you shift your perspective. There's been a lot of talk, haven't we, through these readings about shifting our viewpoint and perspective. That's a very hard word to say sometimes. So if you're just having an off day, it's okay. We all have off days, even the best of us. But as much as we can, we should try to make it just an off day and not a longer term pattern. If it's stretching into a longer term pattern or condition, then we may need to seek help. And the motivation to seek help may not be very strong, but we need to do it. And we need to look around and find some source of help. And it may be as we begin to look outwardly, we will see the thing. We won't necessarily need a great deal of help. Just we see something we didn't see before because where we were, it was hidden from us. Again, it's this change of viewpoint. If it's really serious, we may need to seek professional help. But only we can know. But, we can't sit there forever is the key and still be well and still, we can have a moment, if we're having an off day, we could take a day out, we can have a think about things, but that should be with a purpose to coming out of that situation and getting back and reconnecting with life. And sometimes it's not easy to do that, but we still have to do that. It's time, have your mope, have your feeling sorry for yourself or whatever it is, but then begin to look up and outward and begin to reconnect with the things you need to connect with. And who knows what new things will open up to you when you do. And that's the message of the Four of Cups. Okay, so let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Okay, here we go. Primrose. Be still and pave the way. Maybe a little time, maybe have a bit of a lie down, maybe have a little time of relaxation. Seek a bit of company, even if it's just being in someone's presence, just having a little bit of some, where she's lying there on his lap, head on the lap and everything, amongst the primroses and everything like that. There may not be a lot of talking and sharing going on, but sometimes being in the presence of a close friend or family member or somebody that we love or somebody that understands us can make all the bit of difference. And in that stillness, can pave the way through greater understanding. So even if we sit still, take that time out, be still, and pave the way for all that you desire. So maybe, things are not going how you planned or you're not feeling it, but having a bit of stillness, maybe you've got a lot of things are going on at once and it's caused a bit of a disconnect because it's overwhelmed you. So maybe taking a bit of time out, being still for a while will help you, things settle down and help you to be able to reconnect again. And maybe that is the message of the cards today. Okay, so that's today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 25. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.